Hello YouTube and welcome to Mama Dragon's TCG and Miniature. It's once again time to discuss Digimon. BT10 is just around the corner, releasing on October 21st with the two structure decks alongside being Jesmon and Ragnalordmon coming out on October 14th. We've done this before for the last couple of sets, so once more we're going to go through each color, discuss the color in full, give my thoughts on it as a whole. So before we jump in, do make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And do comment as well what you're excited for to play out of BT10. Let me tell you, the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 is really cool. Blue Flare as well as Jesmon are really hyping me up to play out of BT10. So let's discuss first off with the babies. So first we have Digimon. Your turn, while a non-red card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, it gains 1000 DP. What it's telling here is that cards that can Digivolve over, say, red, but are purple, blue, or some other color, will be able to get a buff from this Digimon. Not bad for decks that have the ability to Digivolve over another color, that are not dual color, by the way. It must be a completely different color, so blue, red, black, something like that. Really good actually for Black War Greymon, because there are specifically like black cards in there. And then we have BT10. When attacking once per turn, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, draw 1 card. Really, really good generic blue baby. Just anytime a Digimon with this under it attacks, just draw a card. Very strong. Drawing is just so good for Digimon, being able to cycle through your entirety of your deck and all of that. So being able to attack and draw 1 is really nice. Again, as I've said multiple times, babies are really good for generic, but also do support a lot of the Digimon in this, specifically this set, but some can move on being generic. I think now they're moving a lot more to genericy for some babies, but some babies are specific to a specific deck they play in. For instance, like this Pikmon. When attacking, if this Digimon has 𝐒𝐓𝐃 in its traits, draw 1 card. So this baby is very specific to 𝐒𝐓𝐃. So now you're wondering, well, as we go to 𝐒𝐓𝐃 Digimon like Shoutmon, how exactly does this work? Since clearly, well, you can see in the screen, Shoutmon is red, Pikmon is yellow. 𝐒𝐓𝐃 have an ability to Digivolve everything with 𝐒𝐓𝐃 in their name. So just a little tidbit there. But really nice for the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 deck, because of the ability to draw 1. Then we have Bossomon. Your turn, once per turn, when a Digimon becomes suspended by an effect, this Digimon gets 1000 DP for the turn. Again, really nice generic baby for green. Green does have a lot of suspension abilities, so once more being able to buff yourself by 1000 DP by suspending your opponent's Digimon. Very strong, very strong. Next up, we have Momimon. All turns when this Digimon has Twilight in its trait, it gains 1000 DP. I'm not exactly sure what Twilight is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be for black cards in this set. So we'll have to read what that effect is. But DP gain is always very nice. Again, this one is not so much generic as it is dictated by this Twilight effect. We have Tokamon, a very scary Tokamon. Opponent's turn, when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by a card effect, draw 1. Again, just generic for purple. Purple can trash its own resources, getting to draw 1, getting the cycle. So very good generic purple card. So overall, the babies are as they've always been. Either generic or support the archetypes coming out in this set. But that's about it for the babies for me. If you're wondering, we're on Digimon Card.dev. The official website has yet to update the full card list, but we can check out the cards here. Again, these are a lot of this stuff will not be what's written for text, what's going to be on the cards that we already know or will be in the set, so do be mindful of that. Now we have Dondokamon. Just a rookie vanilla. That's about it for him. Still nice to have some rookie vanillas if you're still trying to play Rookie Rush. Now we have Shoutmon. Another Shoutmon, but this Shoutmon is specifically built for the Xros deck. Forget what actual physical anime this comes from. Let me know down in the comments down below what Digimon anime this was again. I can't remember it, and I don't think I ever saw it either. Alright, so this can Digivolve for 0 from a level 2 with 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 in its traits. So that's how you go from the Pikmon, which is going to be your main baby for the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 deck, to any one of your 𝐒𝐓𝐃 Digimon, because level 3s, because they have the ability to Digivolve over a Digimon with 𝐒𝐓𝐃 in its trait. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card and 1 Tamer card, both with 𝐒𝐓𝐃 in their traits. He's going to grab any one of the new Tamer cards that specifically go in this deck. Mine them to your hand, place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's basically a searcher card. Very strong, very strong. On deletion, save. This is the new mechanic from the Xros Encounter. That's the name of the set here, Xros Encounter. You may place this card under one of your Tamers as its bottom Digi-Evolution card. So that's what it's very strong here. We're going to read the Tamers down the line once we hit them. That by saving cards, you can then use effects from those Tamers to Digivolve up to your guys, especially with saving with all the Shoutmon levels here as well. So very strong mechanic. It's one of the mechanics that really make 𝐒𝐓𝐃 work. Alright, and then Inheritable, your turn. While this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, it gains Rush. So, really nice. It's going to have Shoutmon nonetheless, because we're going to have Shoutmon X, all the X levels. So, I think X7, X5, I forget all the names, but very strong. Nonetheless, a starter, a 4 of for the Xros deck. Again, being able to search all the pieces you basically need. I've seen this deck, some YouTube playing of this deck from Japan, and the OCG that already has these cards. This deck is crazy how fast it can draw through its deck, and you need these pieces because this deck needs to set up. The first of Shoutmon's little fusions, Shoutmon X4, Material Save. Again, this is much similar to Save as well. Material Save, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may place 2 of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards that are in this Digimon's Digi-Cross requirements under the Tamers in any order. The Digi-Cross requirements, as we'll read, is how you can reduce the cost to Digivolve this guy. On play, he's a draw 2. By the way, he is a 9 cost on play, but like I said, there is a way to reduce that cost. End of attack. You may place all of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards under 1 Tamer in any order to unsuspend one of your Tamers if you do delete this Digimon. Very neat effect. Again, being able to cycle through your cards to get into your pieces that you need to continue your plays in the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 deck. And then Digi-Cross. 2. Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Dorulamon, and Starmons. When you would play this card, you may place each one of the listed cards in the battle area, hand or battle area as the bottom Digi-Evolution cards, reduce the play cost by 2 for each card placed. So basically, that's how you reduce the play cost, by placing Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Dorulamon, and Starmons under him, and then basically reduce it. So by putting 2, you reduce him by 4 to make him a 5 cost, and then just continue down the line. Very strong mechanic we have here right now to play high-level dudes by basically taking cards from either your hand or the field and put them under them to reduce the cost. So very, very strong. Again, this is another major card used in the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 deck. Next up, we have Ashuramon. We do have already an Ashuramon. It has Rush on it. No, it has Blitz. It has Blitz. This Ashuramon is just a vanilla. Neat. Now we have 𝐂𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐒. He can Digivolve for 3 with from level 4 if his name contains Gamamon. So this is another of Gamamon's evolution line. I believe this is his ultimate. Also, Gamamon Turbo is another deck that's actually very viable with all of the cards that now can Digivolve over Gamamon, and a couple of the Gamamons we now have in the game as well. So your turn, once per turn, when one of your Tamer becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2k DP for the turn. That's very nice. Then this Digimon has 12k DP or more. He already starts off at 8k. 12 DP or more. This Digimon gains security attack plus 1. That's really nice as well. Again, there's a lot of red abilities and heritables that gain DP buffs, so it's not too hard to gain to probably get up to that 12K. All turns, this Digimon gains all effects of the cards in this Digimon's Digievolution cards with Gamamon in their name. All right, that is really neat. That's really neat. That just gains all the effects. So basically, not just inheritables, it gains every effect on the Gamamons that are under it. So being able to go from the level 3 and the level 4, gaining those effects on this 𝐂𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂. And then it's inheritable all turns. Digimon gains all effects of the cards in the Digimon Evolution cards with Gamamon in their name. So basically, the Digimon above it also gains everything that's under it. Very cool card. Very cool card indeed. Now we have Jesmon X4B. He has Armor Purge. Again, Armor Purge is that if it dies in battle or by card effect, you just purge the top card of it and keep the bottom. Again, yellow's DP reduction will still go through to the bottom source. That is still part of the game. The mechanic of DP reduction. On play, when Digivolving, you may put one Digimon card with X heart and its trait from your hand or tamer to the bottom of this Digievolution cards. Then when this Digimon has 𝐵𝐿ZAMON and its Digievolution cards, return 2 cards with X heart and its trait from your trash to your hand. So this is very interesting. This is basically a card to go with a 𝐵𝐿ZAMON strategy. It's 9 costs to play, but of course it has Digicross here, Digicross 2. It's Jesmon X4, so the previous Jesmon we saw, and then 𝐵𝐿ZAMON. When you would play this card, you may place, of course, place each one of these listed cards from your hand or battle area at the bottom of the Digievolution cards, reduce the cost by 2. So the max you can reduce this by is 4 for an X4 and the 𝐵𝐿ZAMON. So this is very interesting. It's not going to be played in X Heart, but I could definitely see it being played down future lines with 𝐵𝐿ZAMON. Maybe like a 𝐵𝐿ZAMON X Heart build. I know that 𝐵𝐿ZAMON's getting a whole bunch of support, but I don't know if this is going to see a lot of play because it's very specifically needing 𝐵𝐿ZAMON to activate. So it's not really built for the X Heart deck itself. That's the meta viable tier 1 deck that comes out of this strategy, out of this set. But nonetheless, play around with it. I think it's a pretty neat idea for a card. Jesmon X5. It's got already secure attack +1. It's already a blocker. It's material save 3. We already read it. Basically, if it be destroyed, destruction, not by DP reduction. Again, destroyed has to be either by a card effect or by battle, not by DP reduction. That is a game mechanic. Basically, place the three sources under it, under one of your tamers in any order, and just that's it. It's very nice. This material save is really nice. He has Digicross 2 for Shopmon, Ballistamon, Duralumon, Starmons, and Sparrowmon. Again, and then you reduce the cost by 2 for each put under there. So this is very nice. So what you can do here is, at the end of the attack, you can use Jesmon X4 to then remove his sources, and then, of course, we'll see, I believe it's the Mikey tamer. I don't actually know the tamer's name, but again, we'll see it. And then using that tamer to then bring the sources out, putting under Jesmon X5, playing Jesmon X5, and then and having that blocker up on the field. And I believe he also gives Rush. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but again, we'll read it. But again, very strong card. That he's already secure attack +1. He's 10k. He's a blocker as well. So just basically ending your turn on this guy being blocking at 10k is very strong. Not mentioning that basically he can save 3 material from him as well. So very strong card. Again, another staple for X Heart. Now we have Volcamon. When Digivolving, he gains Blitz. So basically, again, Blitz is really nice. Again, Blitz is that the second you pass your turn and give your opponent 1 or more memory, you can still attack that turn. Now, again, card effects that return you back to gain you memory after you Digivolve or something happens, putting you back to 0. You can still attack. Still attack that turn with this Digimon if you Digivolved it, but it still be considered your turn. It's only once you pass 0 and there's no way pass 0 and give your opponent at least a memory that there's no way for you to gain back that memory. Then you can attack with this on your opponent's turn. And then your turn gets +2k. So really nice. A little sad. It's not. Actually, no. It would still be. Would it be your turn? No, because Blitz states when you an attack when your opponent has one or more memories. So I'm not exactly sure if that would be on my turn or my opponent's turn. But nonetheless, even if it attacks the following turn, it's still up to 13k. 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿 X5B. This is just I think adding 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 to 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿 X5. So interesting nonetheless. He's a blocker and armor purge. So interesting that the X4B and X5B, basically with the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿, I think that's what the B is meaning. 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 are both armor purges. Very interesting. When Digivolve, you may place one Digimon card with 𝐒𝐲𝐻𝐻 and its trait from your hand or from under one of your tamer under this Digimon as its bottom Digi-Evolution card. I believe that was much the same for X4B. Then when this Digimon has 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 and its Digi-Evolution card, you may place one level 4 or lower Digimon with 𝐒𝐻𝐻 and its trait from your trash without paying its memory cost. And again, it has Digi-Cross to 2 for 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿 X5 and 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿, reducing its cost by 2. Again, this is in 11. I did forget to mention X5 is a 10 cost. Again, he's a little weird, again, because you have to play some form of 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿. Right now, the game only has a couple 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿s. So, yeah. I'm not sure. It could still be pretty cool. I like the idea of what it can do, especially with Armor Purge, because basically you can block with it, Armor Purge it back down to like X5. And yeah, that's pretty neat. But I don't think it's going to see a lot of playability, much like X4. Maybe down the line, when 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 gets way more support, we have more 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 stuff. Maybe a weird combo of 𝑥Heart 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 might actually come out. But we have to wait for more 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 support. And finally, the last red card, Jesmon X Antibody. As I stated, Jesmon is getting a whole structure deck releasing alongside this set. It will release 1 week prior to the set. The set was supposed to release on the 14th, but so shipping delays caused the set and structure decks to split apart. So Jesmon and Ragnalordmon structure decks will be out a week before the main set. But Jesmon gets a whole slew of new support cards in here. Some new support in here. Not mentioning the support from his structure deck. So I believe he gets Jesmon X Antibody and Jesmon GX. So some very new strong cards for Jesmon to play with. So Jesmon X Antibody, Piercing. When Digivolve, may play one Digimon card with Systemon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. That's what the original Jesmon did as well. And do not worry, we'll read the new Jesmon from the structure deck as well once we get through the main set. Then, if Jesmon is in this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, or you have a Digimon with Systemon in its name, in play, all your Digimon get plus 2k DP for a turn and may attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn. That's actually really nice, especially with this Jesmon having Piercing. Being able to attack unsuspended Digimon is very, very strong. Again, board control in Digimon is very important. So having board control with this Jesmon is really nice. Not mentioning that you can buff up your Sistermon to swing in or any other Digimon as well. So again, very nice to play out Sistermon. Has Piercing and does have the X Antibody ability as well. It's not written on the little text box, but it is written on the card. He can Digivolve for free over a Jesmon. So very, very strong to Digivolve right over to use one of your Jesmons to activate their effects, paying the 3, and then Digivolving for 0 over that Jesmon to trigger this effect. So be mindful of that. 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 is still Savior Huckmon is at 1, so do be mindful of that as well. But overall, red is red. Red's got aggressive pieces. I feel like red didn't get a lot. Jesmon got like 1 card. The Xros deck got 3 cards, and then a couple of vanilla cards. 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐿 Volcanomon is just really nice for anyone who really wants to try that out. It's got Blitz. It's a way to win games and stuff like that. But overall, and Gamamon did get his level 5 as well. Kenweezamon. Overall, red's interesting. I don't think it got a lot of cards, and I really feel only the cards you can really pull out of here are the 𝐒𝐻𝐻 stuff, Jesmon, and Kenweezamon. But that is it for red. Let's talk blue. We have Bluekamon. He's just a vanilla. Now, he is a vanilla that's 2 costs to play, 2 to Digivolve over a level 3, which is, or level 2, which is not fun. But he is 5k. But what's really nice, 2 costs to hard cast that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Just a vanilla rookie. Now we have Gazomon. On deletion, you may play 1 level 4 Digimon with blue flare in its trait from your hand, suspended without paying its memory cost. So blue flare is the new deck strategy that comes out of Xros Encounter. It's a new stun variant deck that I'm really excited for. I don't play a lot of stun decks, but nonetheless, I'm really excited to play this stun variant deck. So this is really nice to extend out. So being able to like swing and hit one of your opponent's security. If it dies, you just bring out a new dude free of charge. So very neat. Very nice. We got Greymon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards with blue flare and their traits among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you have a 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘, Anamua in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand instead. So this is very interesting. So you either get to look at the top 4 and add 2 cards with blue flare to your hand, or you can add a Metal Greymon. So as long as you own the Tamer out. So very interesting. And then on deletion, it does have the save mechanic as well. Inherited, when attacking once per turn, if the Digimon has blue flare in its trait and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. Very strong, very strong. Being able to unsuspend it as long as you have 2 or more Digimon basically returns it back to the active state, giving you another swing if you want to go for board control or abilities or anything like that. So, really neat card. A nice way to search and a nice way to grab a card as well. We have Decker-Dramon. His art is really cool. He's basically just firing a bunch of missiles. On play, draw 1 card. He is a 5 cost to play. Again, anyone who's wondering, I know I'm blocking much of the card text over here. It is over here, so it is a play cost of 5. That's really nice. On play to draw a card, and then for each of your opponent's Digimon, draw 1 card. So that's even better. The fact is, on 5, so if your opponent has white board state, but you're somehow surviving that white board state, slap him down for the 5, and then draw your 1 for on play, and then draw more cards. So, psych ability, very, very nice. He has the save mechanic as well, and then all turns while your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1k DP. So very nice. So we get to unsuspend over here, gain some DP for this. Now we have Male Birdramon. Again, I believe this is also blue flare. Yes, it is blue flare. So I think almost all the blue except Jellymon. Jellymon's level 5 are all blue flare. On play, if you have 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘, I'm not going to pronounce the last name again. In play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand. If you don't have a 𝐒𝐓𝐾 in play, you may play 1 from your hand without paying its memory cost. So really nice. So either you can get a Metal Greymon back from your trash to your hand, or you can just play a Tamer for free. And most Tamers are 4 costs, so I mean, very nice. It is a 5 cost, but basically you're just paying 5 to put out a 4 if you don't have the Tamer out. On deletion, he does have save, and then he's terrible when attacking once per turn. While Digimon has blue flare in its trait, and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until your opponent's end your next turn. So that's very nice. The ability to just stun a card. It's still very strong, very nice. Even from the days back where blue hybrid ruled formats, this is still a very good card. The inheritable is really nice for stun ability. And also the on-play skill is very nice as well from grabbing a Metal Greymon or being able to play the Tamer for free. We have Barchuyomon, another just vanilla level 5. We have 𝐿𝐶𝐷𝐿𝐿. The Tisselmon? Who knows? When Digivolving, you have 6 or more cards in your hand. If you have 6 or less cards in your hand, draw 2. Very strong card effect if you spill through a lot of your cards. Blue sometimes does have that effect where sometimes you're going to spill through a lot of your cards, and you're going to be maybe have just 6 or just fewer cards in your hand. So that's very nice to be able to draw 2. This is kind of the same as like the Vmon that checks, I believe. All Force Digimon will check as well to see if you get to draw a card, but really nice. This one though is a little better because you get to draw 2. And then when attacking once per turn, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you may trash 2 cards in your hand to unspin this Digimon. Huh, that's really nice. So basically what you can do is Digivolve her, have the 6, draw 2, and then you can pitch out 2 cards to basically unsuspend her. It's really neat idea. She does have a really cool art as well. And by the way, I think Gammamon is up here in the this guy right here. I forget what the armor is of that. Again, let me know down in the comments below. We have Metal Greymon. We've seen a couple cards be able to grab this man himself, so let's check out the Metal Greymon. Material save 2. Again, it's just the same. If he ever gets deleted, take 2 cards under him and put him under one of your tamers in any order. Of course, it must be cards in your Digicross that Digicross into him. So, on play, the Digimon gains Rush, which is really nice. Again, Rush is basically the turn it comes in is the turn it can attack. Blitz is if you pass memory to your opponent, you can still attack. Rush is the turn it comes in, it gets to attack. So it doesn't have summoning sickness for the turn. Then if you Digicross 3 of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digi-Evolution cards less than or equal to this Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So what that is basically if he has 2 cards under him and your opponent has 3 cards with the same amount of sources, so 2 under them, they cannot attack or block, which is very strong. Very strong indeed for people who hardcast Digimon or don't Digivolve high level amount of Digimon, or Blue's ability to strip sources. Remember, Blue still does have the strong ability to strip sources under Digimon, so this is very nice to play with Tommy to strip those sources or anything like that, or any card that strips sources. And then Digicross 2, a Digicross for 2 from a Greymon and Male Bergermon, apologies. So, and then reduce the cost by 2. So this can come out on play for a 3, as long, again, if you pay the Digicross cost of Greymon and Male Bergermon. So I really love its on-play skill. If you do it with the Digicross ability, again, on play it gains Rush, but I think the better aspect is if it Digicrossed. So basically using the Digicross. Do understand that would mean that there's only 2 sources under him. So it means any 3 of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block as long as they have 2 sources under them. So, very interesting card nonetheless. Then we have Cybergermon. He is also Blue Flare. A hand and main. So you have to have him in your hand and the main. If you have a Digimon Blue Flare and its trait in play by paying 3 memories, place this card under that Digimon as bottom Digi-Evolution card, then unsuspend that Digimon. Okay, that's really cool. So basically you're paying the same amount of cost to Digivolve him to basically put him under as a source. So again, that's really nice for Metal Greymon to buff him up to 3 sources so that you can then target any 3 Digimon that your opponent has that have 3 sources under them to then stun them. And in all turns, while your opponent has 2 or more Digimon and play, this Digimon gets +1 KDP. Okay, that's very nice. This Cybergermon is really cool. I am now realizing as well, because Digicross actually will take the, for instance, say this Greymon has 2 sources under him, and then you just hardcast the Male Bergermon. Basically, when you go to Digicross it, because it comes from the field as well, or hand, it actually will be taking, I believe, probably the sources under, say, any Digimon and putting that under. It's much like Jogress. We'll have to see how QAs reflect that, if that is true. Anyone who's read the QAs, let me know once again down in the comments if that is correct. But that'd be very interesting if it's like Jogress. Just Jogress had to be on the field at all times. This just basically is also in the hand. All right. Next up, we have Decker Greymon. Decker Greymon. He's got Armor Purge. Again, very nice. Really nice effect. On play, when Digivolve, you may place one Digimon card with blue flare in its trait from your hand or from under your tamer to the bottom of the Digievolution. Bottom of the Digievolution cards. Then if Digimon has Decadramon in its Digievolution card, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block to the end of your opponent's turn. So again, very strong for stun. And then Digicross 2 with a Metal Greymon and a Decadramon. So what overall we've seen for Blue Flare overall is it's just a evolution of Blue Hybrid. But the weird part about it is that you can still put Blue Hybrid in this deck. Tommy is at 1, but that's really about it. So you can still play a Blue Hybrid, Blue Flare mix. Now understand that Blue Flare only gets its effects from Blue Flare cards. So putting only really a tiniest amount of package of Blue Hybrid is probably what you want to do. Not that it really matters. It's probably just going to be probably one Tommy, a couple of Korikakumons, and probably a couple of Beowulfmon. So again, you want to be probably want to be using a lot of Blue Flare cards. But this is a very evolved form of stun control that Blue Hybrid had. Just a little better now that we have all these Digimon that actually can, punch and survive and do stuff. Now we have Ray Gloos. If you're wondering why I'm looking off to the side, my secondary monitor is actually what's hosting the webpage. Ray Gloosamon? I have no idea. This fisherman-looking Digimon. I was about to say Pokemon. When Digivolving, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Common for blue. When attacking, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, you may play one level 3 and one level 4 Digimon card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. So that's very interesting. What this can go into, Metal Garurumon. Being able to, again, pull out 2 parts of your sources so that you can play them. Again, they'll have Summoning Sickness, but very strong card nonetheless. So another new card you can put into Metal Greymon to help it push itself into the BT10 era. Cool, nonetheless. And then we have Cannondramon. It's blocker, a level 6 blocker at 1200, 12k. So yeah, very, very strong. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. All right, so that's even better. The fact is that it has a blocker. You could have swung with the level 5 and then basically just Digivolve, unsuspend it to have that 12k blocker. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, unsuspend it. Even better. So basically, you can swing, take out a security or a Digimon, Digivolve to him on your turn. He's a blocker, and then what happens? He's an unsuspended blocker. He goes and blocks, and he unsuspends himself. So basically, he's a 2 blocker. I could see some decks wanting to put this guy in there. He's just very good for keeping your opponent from swinging multiple times on your security because, again, he's 12k, so not a lot, no little weenies. No little weenies can go attack him. So, very interesting card. So, blue. Blue is stun. That's what blue is for this set. Blue Flare is basically just a stun deck. It's basically just a slow-playing stun deck of slowly chipping off your opponent and stunning them from attacking you or blocking any of your attacks. It feels like a more evolved version of Blue Hybrid, even though you can still play probably a small Blue Hybrid package in Blue Flare. So, Blue Flare comes out as probably another one of the tier 1 decks for this meta. Jellymon's level 5 is really neat, and I think the Cannondramon and the Fisherman Regelkuzamon is also pretty neat as well. But overall, blue is definitely Blue Flare. All right, yellow. Let's start off with Starmons. It's very interesting when they said like Starmons. I thought they meant like multiple Starmons. No, the literal name of this guy is Starmons. So, yeah. Again, he does have the ability to Digivolve over any level 2 with X-Heart in its trait. Again, doesn't really matter for the level 2 Pikmin because it is already yellow. He does have save and then inheritable When attacking, if the Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, draw 1 card. So again, very strong card. Again, it's going to be over over one of the two, either Shoutmon X7 or Shoutmon X5. So very, very strong card. Is it Shoutmon X7? No, it's X5 and X4. Apologies. But anyways, X7 I think is the secret rare out of the set. But yeah, it helps all the Shoutmon X levels. We have Tinkermon. On play, one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon gains security -1 until your opponent's turn. Again, just another control card for yellow. That's really about it. Yellow's really good at handing out those negative security attacks. Another Pulsemon. He can Digivolve 0 over a Bibimon. A Bibimon. What? Isn't Bibimon just the level 2? Interesting. But there you go. A Bibimon, if you wanted to... is that a baby up here? Give me a minute. No, that is not a baby up here. The yellow baby was a Pikmin. Let's see. So you can Digivolve over 0 over a Bibimon. Your opponent's turn, while you have 3 or less security, this Digimon gains blocker. Really cool effect right there. Again, being able to be at like level 3 with like modulation of security and yellow being meant to add, reduce. It's really nice just to have a blocker. Weird 0 over Bibimon. Maybe we'll find a Bibimon. I'm not so sure. Well, Renamon does get another line here that does get to buff up the EX Collection 2 Renamon line. So my waifu Fox still lives strong. And she's got a pretty nice set of cards here. So, Renamon. On play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with plug-in its name and 1 yellow tamer among them to your hand. The other Renamon from EX Collection 2 did the same thing, but it added Rika to your hand. Not just any generic yellow tamer. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. Again, it's just a searcher. Being able to cycle through your deck and Digimon is so strong. Your turn, once per turn, when you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, which is basically practically any plug-in chip and practically all the yellow, a lot of the good yellow option cards, practically any option card, truth be told, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2 KDP for the turn. Very strong. The Renamon line from EX Collection 2 actually did the same thing if you used a option card with a 2 cost or more. So all the plugins are 2 cost. We got Shortmon. Very interesting Digimon design here, but just a generic Digimon that Digivolves over 1 over a level 3. So very good card for that. We got Doralumon. He could Digivolve for 2 from a level 3 with X Heart in its traits. So basically any Digimon with X Heart in its traits can go from red to yellow like Shoutmon. On play, if you have another Digimon or Tamer with X Heart in its trait, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -3 KDP until your opponent's next end of turn. So basically their end of their next turn. On deletion, it does have save, and your turn while Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, all your opponent's security Digimon get -2 KDP, which is really nice to help X5 and X4 go in for those security checks, especially X5 being that it does have an extra security attack. So very strong card for the X-Heart deck. All right, next up is Darkmon. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security -1. Again, really strong. Like we said, Yellow has a ton of cards to neg your opponent's security. So just another card on that line. Cubimon. When Digivolving, activate one of the effects below. Return 1 option card with plug in its name from your trash to your hand by trashing 1 option card with plug in its name. In your hand, draw 2 cards. So either one is very, very good. Being able to return a plug-in chip that you might need to go for a combo piece or an attack or something like that. I believe we have one that gives buff to attack. I forget what the green and the blue ones do. B and C do from the original EX collection. But very strong nonetheless. Or if you don't want one, trash it to draw 2 more cards. Just dig 2 further into your deck. Either way, very good card. Very good card. Again, cycling in those plug-in chips for the Renamon deck is very strong. Especially I think we get another one in this set as well. We have Weddenmon. All right, very still interesting art. But just a vanilla. We have Senzomon. When digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security -1 until the end of their next turn. All right, still very strong nonetheless. Inheritable. When attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security -1. All right. So this yellow set's about Renamon and plug-in chips and minusing security attacks everywhere. That's really strong. Taomon. When Digivolve, may use one option card with plug-in its name from your hand, knowing its color requirements without paying its cost. Very strong nonetheless to merely use a plug-in chip, which is really nice. Being able to like go Cubimon and then say go Digivolve and Taomon, you got back the plug-in chip you wanted, triggering that plug-in chip off the Taomon effect. So, very cool card indeed. Now we have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄. 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄? I have no idea how to pronounce this. When digivolving, if 2 or fewer security cards, recover 1. Congratulations, look everyone, it's another card for security controls recoverability! Again, as long as you're at 2 or fewer, which is very interesting. Most cards are like 3 or fewer, 1 or fewer. This one's randomly at 2 or fewer. Weird. When attacking once per turn, if you have 3 or more security cards, one opponent's Digimon gets -5k DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security guards, gain 2 memory. If you're sitting exactly at 3, which is what this Digimon can give you, you can get both those effects. It was much like how Pulsemon sitting exactly at 3 could get you both his effects, the promo pulse. But cool nonetheless. We have Sakuyamon Maid Mode. This is very good art, by the way, too. I love the art of Maid Mode. When digivolving, you may use an option with plug-in in its name or a yellow option with a memory cost of 5 or less from your hand, ignoring its color restrictions and without paying its memory cost. I'm pretty sure Holy Flame, the one that gives like negs to your neg 2 security to your opponent's Digimon, I believe it's a 2 cost. So wow, that could actually just play Holy Flame for free. Then after using the option card, instead of trashing it, place it on top of your security stack face down. Even better! Wow, that's even better. Like purging a Holy Flame to neg, I think one of your opponent's Digimon -2 security, and then it hits in security. I think it gives the entire field of your opponent's Digimon -2 security attacks. Wow, that's amazing. Broken. That's broken right there. Apologies for moving that. When attacking, the Digimon can digivolve into Sakuyamon in your hand for a memory cost of 1, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements. So that's really cool. So I believe it's a 3 cost to digivolve over a level 5, a 2 cost to digivolve over a level 6. So basically you could go Sakuyamon. But that's really cool. So you could go Maid Mode first, trigger Maid Mode, and then when attacking goes like to another Sakuyamon. We have a couple of Sakuyamons now thinking about it. The one that gives minus security, minus DP to your opponent's security Digimon comes to mind as well as this EX Collection 2. Then we have Venusmon. When digivolving, all your opponent's Digimon gain security -1. So just everyone gets -1 security attack. Opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon with security attack can't attack this Digimon, and any when digivolving and when attacking effects of those Digimon don't activate. Yellow's got a broken card right there. I don't know how broken, but reading it sounds pretty broken. It feels like a power creep card against a lot of when digivolving and when attacking effects. Any Digimon with its at least the 1 security attack, or any Digimon that buffs up its security attack, like to say it has a -1 already, so it goes up to like security attack +2, so it's back to a 1. Just can't attack this Digimon and cannot trigger the when digivolving and when attacking. So basically, even if you never play negative security effects on your opponent's Digimon, none of their when digivolving, none of their when attacking, and they can't attack this Digimon. That's absurd to me. That's crazy, but very good. Well, I believe, do we have another yellow? No. So yellow is Renamon and minus security attack. That is what yellow is. Yeah, I know there's a 2 Heart Digimon in here, but those go to Digicross. Those go to the Digicross deck. so I'm not counting them. So those already go to Digicross. You need those for Digicross. The Pulsemon's interesting, but like almost all of this yellow set feels like minus security attack, minus security attacking on your opponent's Digimon, and that's about it. And Renamon's new line. So I love it. I love Renamon getting a whole new sleuth of support to go with the EX Collection 2 support. And I love all of these Digimon handing out minus security attacks everywhere. And Venusmon, yeah, that's a hell of a card. Well, anyways, that is it for yellow. Time for green, and it's Mushroomon. It's a 2-cost rookie vanilla Digimon. That's about it. With really cool art, too. Digimon really knows how to do their arts. We have Angoramon. I believe this is the last Digimon we need for Ghost Game. Yes, this is it. We've got Gamamon, Jellymon, and now we have Angoramon. Your turn, once per turn, when you play a green tamer, draw 1 card. Very good. Digimon there is a 3-cost to play. Your turn, once per turn. Inheritable, when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, draw 1 card. Again, green's ability to suspend Digimon will easily be able to activate that inheritable, and I do like being able to play like green tamers out and drawing a card. So, very good card. We have Kokuamon. Your turn, once per turn, when the Digimon attacks and deletes an opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. Palmon! I like this art of Palmon too. On play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card that contains plant or vegetation in its trait, and add 1 card with fairy in its trait among them to your hand. Place remaining cards on it. So this one's very interesting about fairies and plants for green. So very interesting card, especially if you wanted to build a deck around vegetation and fairies. Red Vegemon. This is a plant, just so you know. It's a vegetation. But it is a 1-cost to Digivolve over a level 3, which is really nice. Other than that, it is a vanilla. Sunfloramon is vegetation as well. When Digivolving, by suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon card that contains plant, vegetation, or fairy in its trait and 3 KDP or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. I think this Palmon, yeah, it can trigger the Palmon to search. Very nice. Very nice. On Digivolve. Your turn, once per turn, inheritable. When one of your Digimon is suspended by an effect, draw 1 card. So, also very nice as well. By the way, that actually triggers on opponents. But anyways, really nice just to play out searcher cards, other stuff that you need. Again, it must be plant, vegetation, or fairy. But most of green Digimon are like plant, vegetation, or a fairy. We have Ballistamon. This is, of course, for Xros. Again, he could Digivolve over a level 3 for 2 over a level 3 Xros Digimon, or X-Heart Digimon, I should say. Opponent's turn, while you have another Digimon or Tamer with X-Heart in its trait, this Digimon has blocker. Really easy to do, especially with the save mechanic. He does have the save mechanic. And then while this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, the Digimon gains Piercing. Very nice as well to give it to X5, who already had Security Tech +1. Is protected over here with Darulamon, and now has Piercing. Wezengamamon. He's just Piercing. Alright, and he can Digivolve for 2 over a card with Gamamon. Again, Gamamon like Turbo is a thing now. We have Sombre, Angoramon. Your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, gain 1 memory. I do like that inheritable. That's a very nice inheritable. We have Cherrymon. This is a very cool art of Cherrymon. Digizorption. Another card with Digizorption. Probably not as broken as it was when it first came out. Digizorption 2, again, by spending one of your Digimon, you can reduce his Digi-Evolution cost by 2. So he's a 1 cost as long as you can suspend a Digimon. One of your own Digimon. Which is impossible because, by the way, Sunflowermon brings the Digimon it plays in active mode. So basically, you could spin in that Digimon to then reduce the cost of Cherrymon. I do like that Digizorption is still mechanically correct, even after everything that came out when Digizorption first came out, about how tier 1 to almost tier 0 it was when it first dropped into the format. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may switch the target of the attack to one of your suspended Digimon. Okay, so that's really cool. So basically, if you are low on security, you can attack. In that Digimon attacks, you can then direct it at one of your resting suspended Digimon to basically swing over it. So that's really nice. A good way to protect your security, even protect yourself from like lethal. So really cool effect. Now we have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿. I never can pronounce some of these names. It's just like magic cards. Main, once per turn, by suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play one Digimon card that contains plant, vegetation, or fairy in its trait with 3k DP or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. So this is just the same as 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿. Your turn, once per turn, inheritable. When one of your Digimon becomes suspended, effect gain 1 memory. The same thing as 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿. So you can combine those two together to basically gain memory. As long as, again, he's a level 6. We have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿. When Digivolve, spend one of your opponent's Digimon. All right, that's really nice. That does actually trigger a lot of the green effects we have here of drawing cards and gaining memory. And then end the attack once per turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, unsuspend this Digimon. All right, so basically, first swing, you go in after your opponent's Digimon. It has 9k attack. Delete it to unsuspend itself. So really nice to suspend something and then swing over it. And then unsuspend. When attacking, if you don't have a tamer in play, lose 2 memory. So basically, he's getting the blocker paid 2 memory to swing, as long as you do not have a tamer. But since green loves Mimi, you're probably going to be playing out Mimi. You'll probably be using it. And I think you'll probably be using... I'm pretty sure this is a level 5 of Angoramon. But Mimi is a very strong green tamer, so there's a good chance you'll have out a Mimi. But cool nonetheless. Yeah, I was about to say, is that end attack once per turn? It is. Then we have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐿, just a vanilla level 6. That's about it. We have 𝐿otusmon. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That Digimon does not unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. I do love that about green, the ability to suspend and then keep that Digimon suspended. And again, suspending your opponent's Digimon triggers all the green effects as well from this set. All of your other opponent's turn, all your other Digimon with a trait that contains plant, vegetation, or fairy, gain on deletion, gain 2 memory, and return one Digimon with 3k DP or less from your trash to your hand. Very strong to combo with that Cherrymon, because what you can do is have a suspended Digimon that on deletion, basically like any one of your plants, like that 2k Palmon, have the cherry that's probably suspended to maybe summon up to Digivolve the Cherrymon. The Cherrymon directs it for there with 𝐿otusmon out, -2 memory to your opponent, and then you can get that Digimon back to your hand. That's very cool. I think you could build a very interesting deck around the concept of plant, vegetation, and fairy, and having them be deleted by like Cherrymons to protect yourself, and then forcing your opponent to lose memory for those attacks. That's I think that's a very interesting concept for a deck. And then Bloomlordmon. This is, I believe, another big name deck that a lot of people are talking about. When Digivolve, you may spend one of your Digimon. Then for each of your suspended Digimon that contain plant, vegetation, or fairy in its trait, gain 1 memory. Very strong indeed. When you gain 2 or more memory with this effect, unsuspend this Digimon, and this Digimon gains piercing for the turn. So basically what you could do is at the end of your turn, Digivolve him from Digivolve him over one of your level 5, suspend one of your Digimon. Basically, you don't have to suspend your Digimon. Remember, Digimon's effect thing is about do as much of the effect as possible. So if you didn't have a Digimon to suspend, all right, then you go to count how many Digimon and you'll gain your memory. So as long as you gain 2, he unsuspends and stands back up. So basically, you can gain a bunch of memory and stand back up and swing with piercing. And then your turn, for every 2 of your suspended Digimon, this Digimon gets +2k DP and gains security attack +1. Woo! Okay, green got a little different. So green got a whole lot different from this set. This whole aspect of green is playing plant, vegetation, or fairy, and it's called suspend your stuff, suspend your opponent's stuff, and kill your opponent. That's what it feels like. It feels like suspend your own things to gain more effects so that you can beat your opponent down harder. So that's what it really feels like. it feels like suspend your own stuff to gain your own memory, suspend more of your opponent's stuff to gain effects, and then oh, by the way, now that you have all your stuff suspended, play this 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄𝐓𝐿ordmon, count up, gain memory, swing in, and for every one of your suspended Digimon, possibly swing for so it's for every 2, so I mean it's not completely broken, by the way, but for every 2, so if you have 4 dudes out plus him, you gain security attack 3. So he's going to swing for 3 checks with piercing. So you can cut through anything with 12k. With also some of the green's ability to buff by 1k as well. I like that. 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄𝐓𝐿ordmon is very interesting for a deck concept I just brought up about suspending your opponent's stuff, suspending your stuff, and basically just going ham. And especially with Lotusmon, basically turning every one of your suspended Digimon that is plant, vegetation, and fairy basically into on deletion gain 2 memory. That is very strong. And then you can turn 1 card with 3k DP or less to your hand. So green feels like a very interesting hodgepodge now of spending your own stuff to gain effects and spend some of your opponent's stuff so that you can play 𝐒𝐓𝐿ordmon and swing for a bunch of checks. And basically just control board state so much harder thanks to Lotusmon. So, very interesting green cards we got out of this set. Now we move on to black. With another Motamon. I believe this is our 3rd Motamon now. So, the Motamon that can search on Motamons has another target. On play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards that are either black with Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in their name, or with Twilight in their traits among them to your hand. Place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is very cool for grabbing Twilight stuff, but also Dark Nightmon and Deadly Axemon and Nightmon as well all got buffs in this set, making them a very potentially strong deck. But very cool card nonetheless. Just another cycle searcher. We got Spadamon on play by placing this Digimon under one of your Digimon with Legend Arms, which is, of course, the Ragnalordmon stuff, or X-Heart in his trait as his bottom Digi-Evolution card, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Basically doing the what Black loves to do, de-Digivolve a bunch of stuff. By the way, de-Digivolving does hurt Xros as well because it doesn't save. Because again, saving's on deletion. When attacking once per turn, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Legend Arms or X-Heart in straight among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Really cool card here if you wanted to put it in the X-Cross deck or even put it in Legend Arms. I feel like it's going to go more in Legend Arms deck, the new Ragnalordmon deck, more than it's going to go into X-Heart. But you could put this in X-Heart as well for the de-Digivolve one. It could probably be very interesting for like mirror matches. Again, reason why we need like a side deck in Digimon. Sparrowmon! Again, he can Digivolve free for 0 from a level 2 with X-Heart in his traits. So again, he can go over the Pikemon. All turns while you have a Digimon or Tamer with X-Heart or Twilight in its trait, this Digimon gets plus 3k DP for the turn, and then on deletion save. Which, what I'm now realizing with the save mechanic here as we read it again, you can actually just swing this guy recklessly into your security, and if he dies by security battle, as long as you have a Tamer, oh, there he goes. He gets to save himself. So, neat idea to like plink off your opponent's security and then like bring the guy and save the guy. Instead of him going to the drop zone, he just gets to be put under a Tamer. Now, stipulation, you must have a Tamer out to resolve the save mechanic. Opponent's turn. While this Digimon has Shoutmon or Minervamon, which I believe Minervamon, I think, is the Twilight line. I believe Twilight is purple. Is what's going to be in purple. It's saying this Digimon gains Reboot, which is really nice as well. So X5 can get a security attack plus 2 as a blocker, which you're like, okay, well, how does that work? Well, there you go. Sparrowmon, I believe because, yeah, Sparrowmon actually goes under X5 as one of his Digicross requirements to reduce his cost. Basically now gives him Reboot. So you can swing in, get the 2 checks done, and then at the end of the turn, reboot him so that he's a blocker. Very, very strong. There's a reason why Xros is definitely a deck for this format. Definitely tier 1 for the format. Alright, so now we have Skull Knightmon and Mighty Axe Mode. That's not an and, it's actually Skull Knightmon Mighty Axe Mode. Alright. I read it with an and, even though it doesn't have an and there. The name of this card / Digimon is also treated as 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐾 and Deadly Axemon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Nightmon in its name, Deadly Axemon, or Nini Ameno among them to your hand. Trash the remaining cards. Then if you Digicross with 2 materials, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. Really neat. So his Digicross is 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mon and Deadly Axemon. That's it. Then you reduce it by so you reduce it by 1. So he's naturally a 3 cost. So no, he's naturally a 4 cost. So interesting, like we've seen Digicross -2, so that's mean every piece is minusing 2. But -1 means that it's only minusing 1. So he's going to be a 2 cost to play. But really cool effect there. I really do like his effect to reveal cards and search stuff. We have Golemon. He's a level 4, 1 cost to Digivolve over a level 3 vanilla. We got High Vision Motimon. He's Digicross -2, so reduces the cost by 2 for every for the one of the 3 Motamon that you can put under him. So he goes over, put 3 Motamon under him to reduce his cost by 2 for each. That's basically it. All right. He's basically, other than that, he's a vanilla. We have Gogamamon, a 3 cards of Digivolve over level 4 vanilla. All right. We got Assaultmon, another 3 cost over level 4, level 5. I do like that art. That is some neat art on that. That's just another vanilla. Interesting, we've had multiple vanillas. We got Dark Nightmon, another Dark Nightmon here for us all. On play, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if you Digicross with 2 materials, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. So really cool to combo with the Digicross. More probably to do the Digicross line so that you can delete a level 5 or less. A play cost of 5 or less. Oh, is it play cost of 5 or less? Ugh. That doesn't hit a lot. It's like 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mon Mighty Axe mode. I thought it was like a level 5 or less. Man, what was I reading? I was reading broken. Yeah, interesting nonetheless. Still can hit some things, not a lot of things. All turns when this Digimon would be deleted by returning 1 level 4 or lower black Digimon from this card's Digivolution source to your hand. You may play 1 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mon or Deadly Axemon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. Really nice. So you can go like this man right here to go down to like the 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mons we've seen that can search, the Deadly Axemon that we can see for search. By the way, this man's card name also is treated as 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mon and Deadly Axemon, just so you know. So you can actually play him out because he's treated as one of those. I'm pretty sure you could. I wouldn't see why. Digicross 2, he's 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mon and Deadly Axemon, and then you reduce his cost by 2. So if you do put only a 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐃mon at Mighty Axemon mode, you only reduce him to a 6 cost. So just be weary of that. But cool card nonetheless. Jesmon Critical Arm, another card for Jesmon. It can Digivolve 1 if name contains Jesmon. Of course, we got the first wave of Jesmon in 𝐒𝐓𝐃 Collection 1, 𝐒𝐓𝐃 Collection 2. Apologies. When Digivolving, by returning 1 card with Jesmon in its name other than Jesmon Critical Arm from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 9 or less. Alright, I like the delete play cost of 9 or less. That hits a lot more cards in the format. So, or in the game, I should say. And in the format as well. When attacking, if you have a tamer and play Digimon, may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Jesmon in its name other than Jesmon Critical Arm from your hand. Ignore Digivolution requirements by paying 2. Really cool, really cool. Nice to see some more Jesmon support. Now we have Gankumon X Antibody. By the way, this man's, they don't have his own art, but this man's all art looks wicked cool. So anyways, he can Digivolve for 1 over a Gankumon. He has a blocker, naturalized blocker, When Digivolve, you may play one Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Then if Genkumon is in this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, or you have a Digimon with Sistermon in its name in play, until the end of your opponent's turn, all your Digimon get +2 DP, and your opponent's effects can't return them to the hand or deck or reduce their DP. Wow, that's a lot. So they can't be returned to hand, deck, or reduce their DP. Woo, no yellow reduction here, baby. What this feels like is a card that's going to go after Security Control. Security Control has so many ways to spin cards back, reduce their DP, and spin cards away, that this guy just feels like another anti-Security Control card. But really cool nonetheless. I don't know if a lot of decks will play him, but he is a cool card. Dark Knightmon X Antibody. Alright, can Digivolve 4 from Dark Knightmon. So he's a steep cost to Digivolve. But anyways, when Digivolve, return one black or purple Digimon card other than Dark Knightmon X Antibody from your trash to your hand. Then when this Digimon has Dark Knightmon or X Antibody in Digi-Evolution cards, delete one Tamer and one unsuspended... No, delete... So, apologies, I'm reading that wrong. So, or X Antibody and Digi-Evolution cards, delete one Tamer and unsuspend this Digimon. Woo, that's really cool. On deletion, may play one Dark Knightmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Yes, Dark Knightmon got a whole slew of couple new cards, but new cards that buff the deck to do much stronger things. This X Antibody card, yeah, this is a card. All right. I believe our last card in the black area is Blastmon. He's got Rush. On play, if this Digimon has 3 Digi-Evolution cards, he also gained Blitz. So he's Rush and Blitz. So Blitz if you decide to Digivolve and then pass the turn to your opponent. Rush if you still have the memory to pay for a dude that costs 5. Oh wait, no, he's on play. If this Digimon has 3 Digi-Evolution... No, it has to be on Digivolve. What the... On play, if this Digimon has 3 Digi-Evolution cards, Blitz. How the heck does that work? How the heck does an on-play skill with Digi-Evolution cards work? Your opponent's turn. Once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks by trashing one of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Very neat nonetheless. For that less effect, I'm pretty sure this on-play should actually be written as on Digi-Evolution. I will be completely surprised if that is on play. So I have... Unless there's a way to stick dudes under this Blastmon, I have seen no way to utilize Blastmon. We'll have to see if purple has some things to help this. But, yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Overall, black did not get a lot of stuff. It got shafted kind of bit, I think. Man, it's from the X Antibody series where black was just exploding with X Antibody cards, and now it's kind of like dying down again. They got a lot of vanillas. Yes, even though this card has an effect on it, High Vision Motimon is just a vanilla. That's it. It's just a vanilla with a way to reduce its play cost. But really, what came out of it is another support card for Justimon, more support cards for Dark Knightmon, and of course a card that can go into Ragnalordmon and Sparrowmon for X-Heart. Other than that, it's literally just Dark Knightmon, Justimon, Legendar, Ragnalordmon, and X-Heart. That's really it. The rest of the cards really do not matter. I don't see anyone playing this Blastmon. I really don't. I think Skull Knightmon really is the only deck cards that are really going to come out and make a splash, probably. Well, Sparrowmon's already going to be in X-Cross, so that doesn't matter. All right, from black to purple. And this is probably where we're going to start seeing Twilight cards. Or Twilight cards with Twilight in their trait. All turns, while there are 10 or more cards in your trash, Digimon gains Retaliation. Real easy to do. Real easy to do in purple. You mill half your deck in purple. Soundbirdmon, when attacking, by placing one purple Digimon card from your hand under one of your tamers, draw one card. Really, really nice. On deletion, it has save. And then your opponent's turn, when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by effect, gain 1 memory. Again, very strong for purple. We have Chuchumon. Looks like an evil version of Mickey Mouse. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. add one card with Bargra. Oh, I forgot. Bargra Army actually gets support out of this set as well. Bargra Army in its trait, and one 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄 among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. All right, really nice. A way to get a Bargra Army and the Tamer that you need for Bargra Army, and it has save. Really nice. Opponent's turn when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. I feel like purple's going way more into that for Bargra Army, apparently. Is about trashing a bunch of stuff. About trashing your sources and gaining memory because of it. We have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄𝐒. It's just an armor purge. Still, very nice, very nice. We got Digimon. On play, when Digivolving, if you don't have a 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄 or U card in play, you may play one from your hand without paying its memory cost. Really nice. Again, a 5-cost Digimon to play out a 4-cost Tamer. 3 or 4-cost Tamer. We'll have to see. It has save, and then opponent's turn when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. All right. We got Troopmon. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer by trashing one of this Digimon's evolution cards, gain 1 memory. Really cool reactive effect there. It has save. And opponent's turn, once again, if it's trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. I think that's a Bargra Army as well. All right, now we have Mad Leomon. Leomon went a little crazy with all his deaths. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when the number of cards in your opponent's hand is increased by effects by trashing any one of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, your opponent trashes cards from their hand equal to the number of cards that were increased. So if your opponent drew 2 cards, they have to trash 2 cards. Interesting hand control mechanic we're getting. It has save, and it does have a Digicross. Digicross 2, 1 Digimon card with Bargra Army in its trait. So basically, you can just put a Bargra Army's dude under him to reduce the play cost. So basically, he just comes out as a level 4 for 3 cost that could then strip that 1 source to make your opponent trash, well, as many cards as they drew by effect. So a draw 2, trash 2. Very interesting. I like that concept. Gallus Gammamon. Can Digivolve for 2 from a Gammamon. All turns while its Digimon has a card with Gammamon in its name, its Digi-Evolution cards, Digimon gains retaliation. So long as it's over a Gammamon, it just gains retaliation. On deletion, may play 1 Gammamon from trash, suspended without paying its memory cost. So basically, if this guy dies, just play the Gammamon that was under him, because it all goes to the trash at the same time. So, really cool. I like that. Retaliation is really nice, especially with 𝐒𝐻𝐿 being able to also grab that retaliation as well because of its effect. We have Sandiramon. Vanilla. That's about it. We have Skull Baluchimon. Baluchimon? I believe so. All right, in effect, when you trash this card in your hand using one of your own effects during your turn, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a purple Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in its trait from your trash for its Digi-Evolution cost. All right, really nice card there. When Digivolving, if this Digimon is Digivolving from the trash, again, it can target itself because it is undead with its own effect. It doesn't say other Digimon. This Digimon gains on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Oh, until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's really nice. Just the fact that you could go, kill it in your security and delete some big dude off your opponent's side of the field basically for free. We got Balmon. When attacking, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Okay. I love that purple just continues to play the self-mill game. Now, yes, we get a lot of effects from self-milling, and a lot of cards go to your trash, and then you can play those cards out of your trash, and you get all this stuff, but I still am just so hesitant to play a self-mill deck. On deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play 1 𝐵𝐿ZAMON from your trash without paying his memory cost. So really strong for 𝐵𝐿ZAMON decks. Very strong also for future 𝐵𝐿ZAMON decks. So keep that card in mind. Hey, look, it's 𝐵𝐿ZAMON himself. Digivolve 3 from level 5 with X-Heart in its trait. Alright, that's actually really nice. Really cool. On play, when Digivolving, you may trash 3 cards from the top of your deck. Then, for every 10 cards in your trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Alright, really cool. So basically, truth be told, all you're really going to get is 1 kill with this. Unless you hit 20, then you get 2 kills. You may get 1 kill. And then attack once per turn, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. That's really nice too for a nice inheritable there as well. Which means it can go, there's a level 6 that can go over this. Now, Minervamon. Now, this is a deck I'm really going to probably test with. Minervamon Werewolf Loop is a deck that does exist. It's a very interesting deck, and again, it's finicky because you got to get the parts to do it, but nonetheless, it is pretty cool. Retaliation, as all purple has always had. Opponent's turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash while paying its memory cost. That's really cool. So it's just when your opponent on-plays a Digimon, just get out a free Digimon. Any on-play effects of Digimon play with this effect don't activate, so it does have the stipulation that none of your on-play effects can just trigger and go off. On deletion, if your opponent has 2 or less Digimon in play, you may play 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon, purple Digimon, or 1 Minervamon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So that's how you do the loop. As long as you can keep your opponent at the 2 or less Digimon in play, basically you can loop the Cerberus and the Cerberus Werewolf mode. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Now we have Tacdemon. On play, if you may play up to 2 level 4 or lower Digimon with Bagra Army in their trait from your trash without paying their memory cost. Reason why a lot of the Bagra Army monsters Digimon we saw were all level 4. Though Digimon gain blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's actually really nice too. Opponent's turn, when your other Digimon Digi-Evolution cards would be trashed by an effect, you may trash this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards instead. That's really cool. So a lot of what we saw the Bagra Army ability of trashing out cards to trigger effects can just trash his cards instead. That's actually really cool. So that's it. Purple is Bagra Army. So if you are a Bagra Army fan, rise up. Bagra Army is getting a whole bunch of support that's really looking cool. Minervamon is really cool just for the loop I said with a Cerberusmon and Cerberusmon werewolf mode, and Beelzemon and Balmon will probably be more relevant for pure Beelzemon builds, or Beelzemon and X-Heart builds, and future Beelzemon support. But anyways, that is it for purple. We do have a couple of white cards. First up, a new Sistermon CL. On play, if it is your turn, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon with Royal Knight in its trait from your hand by paying its Digi-Evolution cost. Really cool effect on play. Your turn, once per turn, when your Digimon Digivolves into a Digimon with Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its trait, gain 1 memory. It's much like the other CL we have that's on play, gain 1 memory. So really cool, just a new Sistermon to play around with. And the other one is, once more, Omnimon X Antibody. Can Digivolve for 3 from Omnimon. So Digivolve for 3 from an Omnimon. So on an Omnimon. When a Digimon with X antibody in its Digi-Evolution cards would Digivolve into this card, reduce the Digi-Evolution cost by 2. So really cool. So you could do the other Omnimon X antibody to Digivolve over this X antibody. When Digivolving, return all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of your owner's deck in any order. Woohoo! So if your opponent's got a lot of level 6s or level 5s hanging around, well, they all go to the bottom of their deck. And there go all the sources of the trash. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn. So you can only trigger the when Digivolving or when attacking once that turn. So if he Digivolves, you can only trigger it that turn. If he attacks the next turn, you can trigger it then. By placing 1 X antibody or level 6 card from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards at the bottom of its owner deck, reveal all your opponent's security cards. Trash one of them. Place the rest of your opponent's security stack face down. Then your opponent shuffles their security stack. What is that? Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a stipulation here of the fact that you need to have a level 6 or an X antibody. Not impossible if you're going to still play X antibody decks. in BT10, like Metal Garurumon. Heck, you can basically digivolve this dude over himself because it does say a different Omnimon. It just says reduce the cost by 2. So you could do this Omnimon X antibody, then this Omnimon X body. But what this is really strong at is removing security cards. Option cards, I should say. Option cards. Removing option cards from your opponent's security. Just removing them completely from having to be a problem. Now, this doesn't hurt like security control, which basically his entire deck is option cards and a small packet of Digimon. But for decks that aren't security control, that use very strong option cards for security effects, as well as their on-play effects as well, this just basically can remove them and allow you to basically just have to worry about the security Digimon. That's it. Plus, you get full knowledge of your opponent's security. By the way, so it is revealed. So you and your opponent do get full knowledge on what their security is, which is very interesting. There's only so few little cards that give you knowledge of your security. And not every deck has a way to actually look at their security. The TK for yellow does have that ability. But this is just very strong. So both you and your opponent do get knowledge of what the security is. But the fact that you can just trash any one card out of it is amazing. Now, I don't know how much of a splash he's going to make, but that effect is just insane to me. Woo! Wow. Wow. All right, well, white only had 2 cards. Both are really good. Good for Jesmon. Just good generically overall. All right, to the Tamers we go. We got 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐾? I have no idea. On play, real top 4 cards your deck. Add 1 card with 𝐿𝐴𝐷 in its trait among them to your hand, and 1 Digimon card with 𝐿𝐴𝐷 in its trait under this Tamer. So basically, you can add 1, then basically just prematurely save 1. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Your turn. When playing 1 Digimon with Digi-Cross requirements, by suspending this Tamer, you can also place cards from under your Tamers into the Digi-Evolution sources by Digi-Cross. So basically what this is saying, by using the save mechanic in the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 deck, then by tapping him, you can basically rip the sources from under your Tamers, which are safe, then put them under your the Digi-Cross dude. So basically, if you want to go X5 or X4, basically just rip the cards under the Tamers, put them under, swing in. This is how you do a lot of strong damage in this deck. Is using Taiki Kudo. He's very strong. He's a 4 of or 3 of for the deck. But very good card nonetheless for X-Cross. For Xheart, I should say. Okay, here we have Kikira Anomu. This, of course, is for Blue Flare. He is a memory tamer. Your turn, when you would play a Digimon card with Digi-Cross requirements, by suspending this tamer, you can also place cards from under your tamers as Digi-Evolution cards from your Digi-Cross. By the way, the save mechanic goes under any tamer, not a tamer that specifically goes with like Digi-Cross or anything with that. So you could have like a Davis, and that Davis could be protecting a Digimon. Could have a Digimon under it. So again, really cool card here. Again, just save mechanic for the Blue Flare deck. Then we have Akiri Hinamoto. This is another staple tamer card for the Xheart deck. On play, you may play 1 Dorulamon from your hand or from under one of your tamers without paying its memory cost. Really nice to play that for its on-play skill. Your turn, when you play a Digimon with Xheart and its trait, you may spend this tamer to draw 1 card. So basically, you bring out the dude and then you tap her to draw 1. Really nice. The last tamer for the Xheart deck. On play, may play 1 Ballistamon from your hand or from one of your tamers without paying its memory cost. Your turn, when you play Digimon with Xheart and its trait, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. Very nice as well. But yes, that is the 3 tamers you will be using for this deck. I forgot to say his name. It's Zenjorio Tutsuguri. God, I probably butchered that. Zen. We got Zen. So it's Zen, Akari, and Taikia are the 3 tamers you'll be using majority for the Xros deck. Or the X-Heart deck. I don't know why I keep calling it X-Cross. But X-Heart. Now, do be mindful that this is a very heavy tamer deck. So that does mean that you will be falling prey to 𝐿𝐓𝐾𝐄. So just be mindful that you do fall prey to 𝐿𝐓𝐾𝐄. But nonetheless, really cool. We have Ruli 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄. She's a memory tamer. Your turn, when you attack with a Digimon that has 𝐒𝐓𝐽𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Oh, right, she's 𝐒𝐓𝐽𝐿𝐿mon's tamer. In its name or level 5 or higher, you may spend this tamer to spam one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. Congratulations. Look, more of the same green. Another actually green tamer you'll probably be playing with if you play some 𝐒𝐽𝐿𝐿𝐿mons, which you might play in 𝐵LoomLordmon deck. So cool. Nini Anemona. Amono? Is she related to... No, that's a different... Anemono. I think her brother is the purple tamer. So, Nini Amono. On play, reveal top 4 cards of deck. Add 1 card with Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in its name or Twilight in its trait among them to your hand. Place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. Just really strong for basically searching out your Nightmon and your Deadly Axemon stuff. Opponent's turn, all your Digimon with Dark Nightmon in their names or Twilight in their trait game blocker. On deletion, gain 2 memory. Let me check something. Is this Twilight? Does this have Twilight in its trait? No. So, I'm not exactly sure what Twilight is. I don't think we saw any. Oh, well. Well, if it has Twilight in its trait, whatever the trait is, let me know down in the comments what Digimon have Twilight. Because clearly I don't know. And I play this game competitively. But anyways, this is mostly probably more use for Dark Nightmon. We have you, Amono. He's for Bagger's Army. All turns, once per turn, when a purple card is placed under this tamer, draw 1 card and gain 1 memory. Again, almost all the Bagger Army level 4s all did have save. Your turn, once per turn, when you would play a level 4 or higher Digimon with Bagger Army in its trait by placing up to 3 purple Digimon from under your tamer in that Digimon's evolution cards, reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 2 for each card place. Does this have Bagger Army? Does this guy have Bagger's Army in it? Yes. Okay, so that's how you get Blastmon to gain Blitz on play. What's his on play cost? Oh, it's 13. So it's reduced by 2, so that gets you to 6. So that he does become a 7 cost. And it's up to 3? Yeah, it's up to 3. So you only can really get Blastmon down to 7 cost on play. But we found the way to do Blastmon's on play effects. So it is on play and not a mistranslation of on Digivolve. I still wouldn't do it. Yeah, sure, maybe he would be really good. Maybe as 1 or 2 of as like a finisher. That's how I could see it, is like a finisher. But, ugh. All right, well, before we get into options, tamers, they're tamers. They buff decks. They help the decks they're supposed to be with. Dark Nightmon, Bagger Army, X-Heart, Blue Flare, and Green. But they're all good. They're all good. All right, let's get on to our option cards. We have Briaclaw. Main, one of your Digimon gets plus 2k TP for the turn. Then by placing 1 Digimon card with Gamamon in its name from your hand to the bottom of one of your Digimon's evolution cards, draw 1 card. This is very nice to go with 𝐂𝐓𝐿 to, of course, trigger 𝐂𝐓𝐿mon's inheritable, especially because it must have a Gamamon. Especially it must have a Gamamon in your Digi-Evolution traits, as I remember it now. So really nice there to be able to gain 𝐂𝐓𝐿mon's effect, inheritable. Security may play 1 Gamamon from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Very nice. Hero of the Skies. Main, activate one of the effects below. If you have a Digimon with Shoutmon X5 in its name, activate all the effects below. It's only 2 effects, so activate both, which has been probably the better wording to me. When your Digimon with X-Heart gains security attack +1, and you get to draw 2. How nice. Make X5 plus swing for 3 security checks, and draw 2 cards. So if you haven't realized the aspect, if you haven't seen an 𝐒𝐲𝐻𝐻 deck play, you have to draw. It draws through its deck very, very fast, especially with Akira effect, because you need to see your pieces. To win, you must see your pieces in your hand. It's a very piece-heavy reliant deck, but with the ability of everything it can draw in this deck, you never have to worry. Unless you don't get a lot of your draw pieces to your hand. All right, now we have Burning Star Crusher. Main, choose one of your level 4 or above Digimon with Shoutmon in its name. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon DP less than or equal to the chosen Digimon's DP. Very neat. It's a neat little effect. You could go on the Shoutmon X5 as well because it's a level 5. Security, reveal... Oh, I forgot to say what the security of Fly Me Hero of the Skies. They just add this card to your hand. Nothing fancy, but it does add to your hand. Next turn, you get a 2 cost to basically, as long as you have X5 out, extra security attack, and an extra draw 2. Security, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with X heart in its trait from among them to your hand, and play 1 Taiki Kudo from among them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards bottom of your deck in the order. All right, that's actually really cool. So you can add a X cross to your hand, and if you find a Taiki Kudo in those top 3 cards, play that as well for free. That's actually really nice. All right, 2 Blazing Memory Boost, another memory boost. Reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards from cards with blue flare in their trait among them to your hand, and you may play 1 𝐒𝐶𝐘𝐒 among them without paying its memory cost. So that's really cool. So you can add 2 blue flares, and then as long as you hit 𝐒𝐶𝐘𝐒 in there as well, you can immediately just slap him down too. That's really cool. So basically, you're getting 2 cards to your hand, and out of the remaining 4, as long as you hit the Tamer, you can play the Tamer. So you're putting 3 cards in the bottom of your deck. In any order. Then place this in your battle area. Main, it has delay. You can then crack it the following turn for 2 memory. Then we have Plasma Decadra Launcher. When you would use this card, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, reduce the memory cost of this card by 2. It is a 7 cost option card, so it's going to go down to a 5 cost. Return one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon to its owner's hand. Very strong card. It's what blue does. Security, return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. Yeah, that's broken too. That just returns anything to your opponent's hand. Ooh, that's a very good security card. I wouldn't be surprised if security control is running around with it. Actually, no, that's what's even funnier. Oh my gosh, 𝐵𝐿starmon can actually use this. 𝐵𝐿starmon on play can activate 7 cost security cards. This is naturally a 7 cost security card. 𝐵𝐿starmon can actually use this. Wow, that's even more funny. By the way, the memory boost has the same effect as all memory boosts, just playing in the battle area. All right, Healing Therapy. Neat art there with Ogremon. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. If you have a Venusmon in play, 3 of your opponent's Digimon gain security -1. Okay. Very fun. Security Control's got a whole bunch of new stuff out of this set to play with. Venusmon's going to go in that deck, and no doubt about it, Healing Therapy. Even pure yellow can now just run around with heck, this actually this works really well actually with Maidmon as well. That's hilarious because it activates the card's main effect so well. You can even just trigger this in Maidmon with like a Renamon deck. Renamon's even getting more broken. Okay, Impulse Memory Boost. Man, you may play 1 Postmon from your hand without paying its memory cost, then place this card in your battle area. Delay, crack it for 2 on your following whenever you want. Following this activation. And then, like every memory boost, just slap it down, play in the battle area if it hit in security. Now we have Lonhi Adi Stoki. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. If you have a Pulsemon or a Digimon with Pulsemon and its Digivolution cards in play, you may play this card without meeting its color requirements. So as long as you have Pulsemon, which makes sense because there is green Pulsemon, or a Pulsemon and its Digivolution cards, basically you can just play this for free without having to have a yellow Digimon on play. If you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -12k DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on top of their security stack. Okay, very neat card. It's a little steep for an 8 cost, but neat nonetheless. Neat nonetheless. We have Hon Dump. Point Dump? Main, one Digimon gains piercing. Alright. Very strong for green. Just gains piercing. For the turn. Then if you have a Digimon with Angromon in its name, or a Digimon with Angromon in the Digievolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Hey, look at that. Now you have an object to actually use the pierce against. Security, spend one of your opponent's Digimon, then add this card to your hand. Oh, shoot, I forgot. Oh, look at that. You can just activate this card's main effect. Oh, good. Another card for security control to run around with. A very strong one, too, because, by the way, it actually bypasses Genkumon X Anybody's effect, because it's not actually returning to hand or deck. And because you can, as long as you're above, now, yes, the DP reduction does not trigger, but if you're above the 3 security, you could just spin someone on top of your opponent's security stack. Basically, what this is just another copy of, oh my gosh, it's the 8 cost card from Mastamon structure deck that basically allowed you to put one of your Digimon on the either bottom or top of the security stack. This is basically just another copy of that card with an extra stipulation that if you're a 3 or fewer, you just delete, just neg 12k to one of your opponent's Digimon. Yeah, another card that's going to go in security control. All right, Grandisol. When you would use this card, if you have 2 or more green suspended Digimon, reduce the play cost of this card by 2. So it's now becoming a 6 cost card instead of an 8 cost card. Main, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their owner's deck. Yeah, that's very good. Very good indeed. Again, green just has so much ability to board control. All right. Purple, Immortal Ruler. While you have Nini in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. So you don't have to have a black and purple on the field to meet this color requirement. Again, dual colors, you must have at least a color concept of one of both. So you must have black and purple on the field. Main, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then you may play 1 Dark Knightmon from your trash paying its play cost. If a Digimon with X-Cross requirements would be played, you may also play the card from its trash as its Digievolution cards when you Digi-Cross. What? If a Digimon with Digi-Cross requirements would be played, you may also place cards from your trash as its Digievolution cards when you Digi-Cross. Oh, okay, so basically you can Digi-Cross it out of the trash. Is in other words, add this card to your hand. Oh, by the way, that's 0 cost to do that. Yay! So you can Digi-Cross out pretty much the Dark Knightmon and then go right into like the X antibody. Forgot to say that Grandisol activates main. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Really cool. Next, we have Defense Plug-in C. While you have a Tamer in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirement, similar to all the other plug-in chips. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gains blocker and reboot, really strong there. And can't be deleted by your opponent's card effect until your opponent's turn ends. That's very strong. So until their end of their next turn, it can't be deleted by card effects. Really cool. Now it can still have its DP reduced. So just be mindful of that. Another card, of course, another plug-in chip, of course, for Renamon's line. Security, reveal 3 cards on top of your deck. You may play 1 Digimon card with a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying its memory cost to return their main cards to the bottom of your deck in an order, and then add this card to your hand, and that does start triggering on-play effects as well. So you can actually trigger the Renamon on-play. I believe the Renamon on-play searches. Yeah, so you could then trigger the Renamon on-play, both Renamons on-play to search out plug-in chips. All right. Really cool. We have Justice Kick. When you would use this card for each of your Tamer, reduce the memory cost by 1. So it's a steep cost of 12. But anyways, Justamon's line from EX Collection 2 is all about spamming Tamers. So it kind of makes sense. Main, when you play, you may play 1 Digimon card with Justimon in its name from your hand without paying its memory cost. Oh, so you can just play a Justimon for free. If you do that, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of the played Digimon's play cost or less. let's see. What is Justimon's the critical arm one sitting at? Oh, good. So you can just delete a play cost of 11. I believe the other Justimon's 11 as well. So really cool. So as long as you have a bunch of Tamers out, you can basically reduce this. Again, this deck also has the issue of being very weak to apologies. Death Xmon. Security. You may play one black Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost, then add this card to your hand. Really nice, really nice. We got Buzzing Fist. Main, reveal 3 cards on top of your deck. Add 1 card with Bagra Army and its trade among them to your hand. Trash the rest. Makes sense. Purple is all about trashing, not putting the bottom of your deck. Then you may place 1 Digimon card with Bagra's Army and its trade from your trash under one of your Tamers. Really cool to, of course, then trigger the X-Cross ability. Security. May play, and of course, trigger Blastmon as well. Security. You may play 1 U from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost, then add this card to your hand. Very nice. Then we have Death Cannon. Death the Cannon. Why can't they just say Death Cannon? Why does it have to be Death the Cannon? When this card is trashed from your deck, return this card to your hand. Actually, that's really cool. That's actually really cool. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. If your trash has 10 or more cards, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you may choose with this effect. So basically, 𝐒𝐓𝐀 Collection 2 also released a similar like card that can delete very specific cards. I think for every, I think that one was Death Cannon or something like that, or similar name. It would delete a level 5, but then for every 10 it increased by 1. So this is just another way to delete now level 6 plus 1 for every 10. So basically a level 7, because that's the max we can go to in this game is level 7 until a level 8 comes out. Security, you just activate the main, just blow something up. Yeah, really cool 8 cost card there. Another plug-in chip here. Upgrade plug-in 0. If you allow a Tamer in play, may use this card ignoring color requirements. Again, all the plug-in chips have stayed the same. Main, one of your Digimon gains plus 3k DP into the end of your opponent's next turn, and then security, gain 1 memory and add this guy to your hand. Really neat. Really nice card just to add DP for those swings. Now we have 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐃. While you have a Digimon with Royal Knight in its trait in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Mains. Unsuspend one of your Digimon, then if that Digimon is Jesmon GX, which we'll read here, activate 1 of its Wind Digivolving effects. This is a 3 cost, by the way, and then you can add this card to your hand if it's hidden security. All right, options. The options are really nice. There's some really good options, and then there's some meh options. But overall, all the options have their place, all the options have their uses, and they're all good. Anyways, the last 2 are the secret rares of the set. We got 𝐒𝐓𝐃 King version. When the name of this card / Digimon is also treated as 𝐒𝐓𝐃 on play, you may return 1 card with X-Cross requirements from your trash to your hand. When you would Digi-Cross this turn, you may treat this Digimon as meeting one of the Digi-Cross requirements. Okay, really cool. It does have material save as well, so if there's something under it, you can. It is level 4, by the way, so you can save a card under him. He's Digi-Cross 2, Digimon with X-Heart in his trait when you would play this card. Okay, so basically you can put one guy with X-Heart in its name under this 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon and basically reduce its play cost to 3. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Your turn. While this Digimon has 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon in its name, it gains plus 2k. All right, interesting card. I don't know if X-Heart actually plays him. Maybe like a weird one of tech. But really cool. But the secret rare we want to talk about is this man. This man right here actually makes the Jesmon deck just so much stronger. Actually probably continues it back to tier 1 status. Jesmon GX. Digivolve 5 from a level 6 with Royal Knight in its trait. So, right over Jesmon. When Digivolve, you may place 1 Digimon card with Royal Knights in its trait and a play cost of 13 or less from your hand or trash on the Digimon as its bottom Digi-Evolution card. Activate the placed Digimon's Wind Digivolving effects. So, place a Jesmon under him and trigger the Jesmon's Wind Digivolving effects. Then you get Blitz. Very good, very good. All turns, when this Digimon has a card with Royal Knights in its trait in its evolution cards, it gains Piercing, Blocker, and Security Attack +1 for each card. Okay. Yeah, this is a house of a card. Woo, this is just a house of a card. This definitely is going to be going in Jesmon, but the aspect that it can go over any Royal Knight is really strong. Jesmon just gets a whole lot stronger with this card. Whew. Well, that is it. The 2 secret rares, I'm not certain about the Shoutmon. This set has 3 secret rares. The information had 3, so what's the 3rd secret rare? Oh, I bet it's Shoutmon X7, which isn't here for some weird reason. I don't know. If there is a 3rd secret rare, there's a 3rd secret rare. I apologize if there is. I guess with this set review, if there is one, there is one. Apologies, I'm not reviewing it. It's probably Shoutmon X7, with all true respect. But anyways, if these are really the only 2 secret rares in the sets, I don't think Shoutmon King version is really all that good. I do love Jesmon GX though. But overall, welcome to a new format. Welcome to X-Heart, everyone. Welcome to X-Heart, Blue Flare, Jesmon, Dark Knightmon, Barger's Army. Yeah, those are the decks that are really going to come out of this set. And welcome to the encounter. Welcome to Xros Encounter. Now then, let's move on to those structure decks. Well, here we are at the structure decks. I thought first we can look at the new Jesmon structure deck since we did end on Jesmon GX. So let's take a look at the cards that will be coming out in the Jesmon structure deck. First, we have Gurimon. Your turn, we have 2 or more Digimon in play. This Digimon gets +1 KDP. A very strong baby for this structure deck. Because of Shoutmon's ability to summon out the Sistermon, you'll always have 2 or more Digimon out in play. So, very good baby indeed. And very good generic baby as well. We have Candlemon, just a 2 cost to hardcast rookie vanilla. We have Solarmon, a Digimon with a very good effect here. All turns, players can't reduce play costs. This will become much more relevant now, especially with X-Cross being a mechanic. Again, because you're hard casting out the Digimon, you're reducing its play cost with the Digicross effect. So Solarmon and the other Digimon that do such a thing can hinder Digicross decks. And a good thing to probably consider putting into decks as well. Again, I wish Digimon had side decks because this would be more or less a good side deck card. We have 𝐒𝐄𝐿. Your turn once per turn. When you play a Digimon with Sistermon's name, gain 1 memory. Very strong effect, especially since Jesmon is going to be packing as many Sistermon as it can once again into the deck. And inheritable, your all turns while the Digimon has 𝐒𝐿𝐿 in its name or Royal Knights in its trait, gain 1000 DP. Very good overall inheritable there. Next up, we have Meramon. Just a 4 cost, 1 to Digivolve over 3 vanilla. So really nice there. 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐿. All turns, while this Digimon has 𝐒𝐿𝐿 in its name or Royal Knights in its trait, it gets 1000 DP. That's his inheritable. Again, very nice. Again, buffing up Jesmon to be even stronger so that it can go into security attacks. Also deal with DP reduction card effects from yellow as well. We have Skull Meramon. Just a vanilla level 5. Now we have a new Savior 𝐒𝐿𝐿mon. As I stated in the BT10 review, the first Savior 𝐒𝐿𝐿mon that came out with the first wave of Jesmon support is limited. But here's a new Savior 𝐒𝐿𝐿mon that we can all use. A new level 5 the deck can use as well. When Digivolving, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon until the end of the turn. That's really, really strong for a 7k that can then get buffed by 𝐵𝐿𝐿𝐿mon and 𝐒𝐿𝐿mon, not mentioning the Gurimon as well. And inheritable, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Royal Knight in its trait, you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Again, spamming the board with the Sistermon is very, very critical for the Jesmon deck. It was in the original Jesmon deck. It's now in this Jesmon deck. So, making sure you can spam out Sistermon. Again, Jesmon still has the problem of deck building because of the nature of having to build with the Jesmon core and the Sistermon core as well. So it's going to be very interesting how Jesmon decks evolve into the BT10 meta with all this support and trying to shove both Jesmon core and a Sistermon core into it. It always felt a little bricky, but it's still a very strong card deck nonetheless. Volcanomon is a blocker, so really nice there. He is a little steep. He is a 4 cost over red or black, and he heritable has security attack +1, so not bad. I do enjoy that inheritable, but not really going to be played in Jesmon. But other decks, I could see a use for just for that extra security attack. Now here he is, the new Jesmon. When Digivolving, he gains Blitz, which is really nice. He is a Digivolve cost of 4, so being able to pass a turn and then triggering the Blitz effect as well is really nice. When attacking, you may play one Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand without paying its memory cost. So this is very interesting. A lot of the other Jesmons we've seen, Jesmon X Antibody and the original Jesmon both said that you could play him from trash. This Jesmon specifically says you can only play Sistermon from your hand, not from the trash. All turns, once per turn, when you play another Digimon by its own effect as well, this Digimon gets +3 gate DP and security attack +1 for the turn. So that's really nice. So being able to just play a Sistermon out of the hand, he gets buffed up to he's 15k, he's naturally 12k, so being buffed up to 15k and then being able to swing for 2 checks is really nice. Now again, I still wish he had like the Jesmon X Antibody and the original Jesmon where you could play Sistermon out of the trash. I don't exactly like the thing about having to play a Sistermon out of your hand, because there's a greater chance you'll have a Sistermon in your trash than there's a greater hand of you drawing into a Sistermon. So I would have loved to have a Sistermon putting Sistermon out from the trash instead of out of just straight from hand. But nonetheless, really good card, especially with the Blitz mechanic, because of the way you can end boards, end games with, or push for to tell your opponent, I'm going to blitz, knock out all your security for that turn, and the next turn, unless you can knock me out, I'm going to go for game. Yankumon. When Digivolve, you may play one Hookmon or one Digimon with Sistermon in its name from your trash without paying its memory cost. So this one's really nice. Coming out of the trash is really nice because you'll have all the inheritable Hookmons like Savior, Bale, and Hookmon in your trash from your big stacks being killed off, and of course all the Sistermon you may see in security or coming out to help, because again the original block can turn all Sistermon into blockers. And in your turn, once per turn, when you play a Digimon by an effect, Digivolve one onto up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon. That's really cool too. Digivolve 1 on 2 of your opponent's Digimon, as long as you've brought out a Digimon by an effect, again by his own effect as well. So really cool there as well. A new Sistermon Blanc. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand to draw 2. Very strong indeed, especially just trashing Sistermon, Hookmon, anything that you want to get into the trash, like especially Sistermon, getting them in the trash, especially with Jesmon being able to resurrect them from the trash. At least the X Antibody and the original. All turns, when you have a Digimon with Hookmon in its name or a Digimon with Royal Knight in trait in play, this Digimon gains decoy red and black, and then decoy again is if a red or black Digimon would be deleted, you can delete this Sistermon Blanc instead. Again, it's deleted by effect, not by battle, so you can't delay, like say for instance when your Hookmon swings into security and is going to die by a security Digimon, that delay does not save that. Delay only saves by opponent's card effect. So if it's going to get Gaia forced or anything like that. But again, delay only protects from deletion by card effect. But this is really cool. We have a Blanc that can turn all Sistermon into blockers if you have a Hookmon or Royal Knight out in the field. And now this one basically delays. So now it can turn itself into a basically the target of the card effect deletion. So really nice, really nice. I think the Sistermon Blanc that gives blocker maybe played a little more, but I can see this one, especially for the discard draw 2, since the other one was a on play draw 1. Sistermon CL, again, this is Digimon.dev, so this is proxied. The art is clearly Sistermon Noir, but we will have Sistermon CL because apparently over here we can have Noir. But Vanguard can give nuns guns, but we can't have a nun looking Digimon. with guns. On play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 card with 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon's name or Royal Knights in its trait among your hand. Trash the remaining cards. A little interesting. It's a little interesting to see red wanting to trash its stuff. But again, that's not too bad for the concept of what Jesmon does. Again, bringing Sistermon out from the trash. Genkumon being able to, again, bring stuff out of your trash. It's not unreasonable to want to put stuff into your trash. All turns, all of your Digimon with 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon in their name or Royal Knight in their traits gain reboot. That's actually really nice. So if you can give or turn one of your Jesmon into a blocker, that's actually really strong, being able to reboot it. Also, rebooting it means that unless your opponent has a Digimon that can attack unsuspended Digimon, that Digimon is really safe. Only thing that can delete it is basically option cards or green's effect to resuspend it and then delete it that way. It's a neat CL. I don't know how much is going to come in. I think the CL from the set's going to probably be more played than the original CL, the one that on play gains you a memory. I think those are going to be the CLs that people are going to play in the Blancs. I think they're going to mix between the blocker giving Blanc and the delay giving Blanc. And then probably put in the Awakens as well, just because they're really nice as well. We have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄. All right, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. Main, one of your Digimon gets +2 ATB for the turn. Then if you have a Digimon 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon in its name or Royal Knight in its trait, gain 1 memory, and one of your Digimon gains piercing, which again is really nice. This 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon in this set can attack unsuspended Digimon, so giving it piercing means that no matter what, you'll be able to pierce through an unsuspended Digimon and still go for that security check. Again, but pierce only activates if you survive the battle. With the new Jesmon, you're going to be surviving the battle as long as you attack something with 15k or less DP. In security, gain 1 memory and add this card to your hand. Not bad for 1 cost to give yourself piercing and +2k. Not bad at all. Next up, we have From Master to Disciple. This is, of course, a new, another delay card here. Main, reveal 3 cards on top of your deck. Add 1 card with 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon or Sistermon in its name, or 1 card with Royal Knight in its trait among them to your hand. Trash remaining cards and then place this card in the battle area. Delay, this is a completely different delay crack ability. Next time one of your Digimon evolves this turn, reduce the memory cost of the Digi-Evolution by 1. So basically turning a 3-cost Digimon, 3-cost evolution Digimon to a 2-cost evolution Digimon. So really, really neat here. It's security effect. Reveal 3 cards on top of your deck. Add 1 card with 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon, Sistermon in its name, or 1 card with Royal Knights. Trade among them to your hand, and then trash remaining cards. Place this card. So basically, it's the same. It's the same effect that you get if you just activated it on your turn. So I really do like this. Again, another searcher card. Throwing stuff in your trash is a little weird, but again, with Jesmon's ability to rip stuff from the trash, it makes complete sense. Very strong card, especially for its delay mechanic, being able to reduce Digi-Evolution cost by 1. And lastly, the final card of the structure deck, Quick Blast Fire Father. The famous battle phrase that Genkumon has. If you have a Digimon with 𝐒𝐓𝐃mon or Sistermon in its name or Royal Knight in its trait, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. Really cool, really cool. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 13 or less. Nice. Real nice. Again, this is a level 7 play cost, so you could throw it in 𝐵𝐵𝐿𝐲𝐉𝑚on. Again, you'll just have to have some source of black on the field when you have out your 𝐵𝐵𝐿𝐲𝐉𝑚on to resolve this. Heck, you could just throw Sistermon. Funny enough, actually, you could just throw like Sistermon CL in the deck just so that you can utilize her effective trashing. Because again, it's add if you find it. At top 3 of your cards, what's the chances you're going to find it? I mean, it is a Sistermon, which means Genkumon means that you do ignore the color requirement of this card. So, just a little thought there. Just a little thought. Well, anyways, that is the Jesmon structure deck. Overall, I think the Jesmon structure deck brings a lot of new aspects to Jesmon. Combine that with everything from the original Jesmon run, a couple of Jesmon cards we're getting out of BT10 and the new Sistermon CL and the stuff out of here. I think Jesmon is a very strong contender for tier 1. but we'll have to see. So anyways, let's go check out Ragnalordmon. All right, here we are, Ragnalordmon. I can still remember when Ragnalordmon was in, oh my gosh, what was it? It was when you just ran big dudes and paid big memory. My gosh, I think it was Megazoo. Megazoo, yes, it was Megazoo. That's where Ragnalordmon appeared a lot in, but now he's got his own structure deck. So let's check it out. First, we have 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐾. I think that's how you say his name. 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐾. That's how we pronounce it. Your turn once per turn when you play another Digimon with Legend Arms and his trait gain 1 memory. Really nice. All the Ragnalordmon cards do have Legend Arms, so this is very good for anyone just wanting to play Ragnalordmon. Next up, we have 𝐒𝐓𝐃. On play, you may place this Digimon under one of your other Digimon with Legend Arms and its trait, or one of your black Digimon as its bottom Digi-Evolution card to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Digimon with Legend Arms and its traits and a play cost of 7 or less, you may play it without paying its memory cost. Add the remaining cards to your hand. The remaining cards to your hand, you reveal the top card of your deck. That has to be a weird translation error because it doesn't look at the multiple cards. So on play, you place this Digimon under one of your other Digimon with Legend Arms and its trait, or one of your black Digimon as its bottom Digi-Evolution card. Reveal the top card of your deck. If the Digimon with Legend Arms and its trait and a play cost 7 less, I kidded. If you didn't hit a Legend Arms with play cost 7 or less, you just add the card to your hand. So it's basically just drawing it, but you reveal it before you draw it. Okay, I figured out the rule and how that actually is written to make sense. All right, so very good card for its main effect here, basically because you basically can play out a 7 cost Legend Arms for free. That's probably around your level 4 to some level 5s, but probably more or less your level 4s. When attacking, if you have a Digimon with Legend Arms and its trait, or a black Digimon in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. Not going to happen a lot, but neat nonetheless if you know your opponent's like spamming out rookies or got rookies out, all that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think the level 5s actually for Ragnalordmon are both 7, so funny enough, you can just play the level 5 out for free. We have 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄. On play, you may place a Digimon under one of your other Digimon with Legend Arms and its trait, or one of your black Digimon as its bottom Digi-Evolution card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. That's not very good, again, just because that doesn't hit a lot of things. That hits rookies and an okay amount of champions. Not any. There's rare few ultimates that ever have anything less than 6k. When attacking, if you have a Digimon with Legend Arms and its trait, or a black Digimon in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. That's as well as 𝐒𝐓𝐃. I don't know if you can mix this with the Guilmon stuff that buff effects of deletion by 1000 DP, but that's actually a pretty idea I'm coming up with. I don't know. Those were very generic. The Guilmon line support was very generic about buffing up which you can delete with those types of effects. All right. 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄 is okay. He's okay. Doruamon. Hey, look, this is what you can play off that 𝐒𝐓𝐃. And by the way, the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 is good chance it's going to hit one of these because you'll probably be playing 4 of this Doruamon. I believe the black one is also is a play cost of 7, and then of course you can play the original Doruamon. So this Doruamon, the original Doruamon, I believe some of the black line as well. Okay, so your turn. When this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Legend Arms or a black Digimon, reduce the memory cost of the Digi-Evolution by 1. Really, really nice there. So basically turning the level 6 into probably 2 to a 3 cost Digimon. Into your turn, you may DNA Digivolve. Basically, if you haven't seen this, Mastamon did it. The Mastamon structure deck had the same thing as did the Pyrodramon structure deck, where at the end of the turn, you can DNA Digivolve. So really nice to see that. Really cool effect there, being able to reduce the Digi-Evolution cost. Now we have Durandamon. He is actually a Digi-Evolution cost of 3, so funny enough, you can actually reduce that down to 2 with Duramon. Your turn once per turn when one of your effects places a Digi-Evolution card under this Digimon, basically either 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄 or 𝐒𝐓𝐃𝐄 as we've read so far. This Digimon gets plus 3k DP and Security attack plus 1. Really nice for the turn. When attacking, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. You may play 1 Digimon card with a play cost of 7 or less and Legend Arms integrate among them without paying its memory cost. Place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So that's really nice. Again, that just cycles you back into your level 5. So that's really, really nice. The ability to look at top 3 and then cycle back into your level 5 so that you can continue plays. Especially since you want to be having a level 5 on the turn up on your field, so that way you can then go to a level 6. That way then you can Jogress into Ragnalordmon. Because Ragnalordmon here does have the ability to Jogress, or DNA Digivolve as it's called over here. Your turn, while this Digimon is Ragnalordmon, it doesn't activate security effects of option cards it checks. Delicate plan on legs. We got a hybrid Digimon that does it. We have an option card that does it. Here's another Digimon that does it, which I think is very nice. What this is telling us is I think Digimon realizes how potent security control is for the meta, and they're trying to print more and more cards that do not trigger a lot of those security cards. So being able to swing in with this guy with basically Delicate Plan as is inheritable, and as long as you're swinging in with Ragnalordmon, that is, but that's where you're probably going to end the line, is on Ragnalordmon, so you'll be swinging with Ragnalordmon. But that's really nice to be able to then not trigger any security cards as well, which is really nice for blue as well, with Hammer Spark being a thing as well. But really nice, really nice. Then the man himself, Ragnalordmon. When Digivolving, he gains Blitz, which is really nice. That's just generically when he's Digivolving for 6 cost over a level 6. When DNA Digivolving, for every 4 Digievolution cards this Digimon has, delete one of your opponent's Digimon that play cost of 20 or less and trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Woo! Ragnalordmon is amazing. So it's for every 4. So as long as you have 8 under him, which I don't think is going to happen, you can basically delete 2 Digimon with a 20 cost or less on the field, and then trash basically 2 security cards, because it checks 1 4, then it's going to complete the effect, and then it'll check for another 4, check for another 4, and then go for the effect, and then check again, basically until you can't check 4 cards in his Digi Evolution stack. So that's really, really cool. And then all turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from either player's security stack, unspin this Digimon. Now to the black line in this deck, you get part red and part black. Again, Ragnalordmon needing a level 6 red and a level 6 black to DNA Digivolve. We have Kotamon, a 2 cost vanilla rookie. Really nice. We got Chikurimon. Chikurimon also has the same effect of players can reduce play cost. Really nice. Really good idea to play in the Digicross format to stop like X-Heart from being able to spam out their dudes for very low costs. Now we have Ludamon on play. He's basically just the same exact thing as Zubamon for his on play skill. Now his inheritable is different. Opponent's turn. If you have a Digimon with Legend Arms in his trait or a red Digimon in play, the Digimon gains blocker. So basically that's how you can turn Ragnalordmon into a blocker, thanks to its ability to unsuspend himself as well. I believe the original Ragnalordmon was already a blocker, or had a way to give himself blocker. Now we have Gladymon, a 4 cost hard cast, 1 to Digivolve over level 3 vanilla, really nice. Now we have Tai Ludamon on play by placing 1 Digimon at the bottom of your other Digimon Legend Arms in his trait, or one of your other red Digimon, Digievolution source, one of your Digimon gains Reboot. Very strong right here for being able to give Reboot until the end of your opponent's next turn on one of your Digimon that you're going to then Jogress into Ragnalordmon. That way you can use the Blitz effect to swing in after you, of course, trash security and blow up one of your opponent's Digimon, swing in, and then at the end of that turn, reboot. So that's really, really good. Opponent's turn. When you have a Digimon with Legend Arms, because reboot triggers on your opponent's turn, just so if you weren't aware. Opponent's turn. When you have a Digimon with Legend Arms in its trait or red Digimon, this Digimon gains blocker. Again, really, really nice. So 2 cards that are able to give blocker to Ragnalordmon. So I do say that Tai Ludamon is much better than Zuba Eggermon. Much better indeed. Now we have Nightmon, just a vanilla Nightmon. That's, wow, a 5 cost just to play. Actually, that's really nice for a level 5 Digimon. Just a 5 cost to hard cast it. Now we have 𝐒𝐍𝐉𝐻𝐿. Effect. Opponent's turn, Digimon can't be deleted by your opponent's card effects. Very, very nice. Again, being able to see it off either, because it is a Legend Arms as well, either off of Zubamon or Ludamon. Into your turn, you may... So it's basically at the same DNA Digivolve ability that Duramon has. Then we have BT10. Your turn, once per turn. When a card is placed into the Digi-Evolution cards by your own effect, the Digimon cannot be deleted by card effects or return to its owner hand or deck until the end of your opponent's next turn. Really nice. Again, it does say by deleted by effects, so yellow could still hurt this, so be cautious, because again, yellow is about DP reduction, and once a Digimon hits 0 on its DP, it's deleted by game mechanic. I do want to point out that again, because it is quite important to distinct between card effect and destruction by card effect and destruction by game mechanic. When Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. You may place one. Again, it's much like what the Randomon does as well on Digivolve. And opponent's turn, while Digimon has Ragnalordmon, it isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects. Oh, good. So basically, Ragnalordmon can't trigger security effects on option cards or any security effects because of security Digimon as well. Oh, and just doesn't get affected by anything. He sits there and is a big beat stick. Pretty much. Alright, to the options. Another level 7 option here. While you have a Digimon with Legend Arms in its trait, you may use this card ignoring its color requirements. May delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. That's actually really nice. Really, really cool. I can see Security Control playing this, just because it is basically just Gaia Force by going into a red package to do it. Security Control right now is a yellow-purple package right now, is how Security Control is kind of playing itself. But I can see it going back to a red package just to play Direct Smasher. Activate its main effect, just delete something with the highest DP on your opponent's side of the field. Again, it is 7 costs, so 𝐵𝐔𝐶𝐿 could use it, but the problem is I doubt 𝐵𝐔𝐶𝐿's ever going to play anything with Legend Arms in it. Even though you could play something with Legend Arms, but it's not really worth it in my opinion. 𝐵𝐔𝐶𝐿 has so many other cards it can play. And then Legend Arms Alliance, a new delay card as well. Main, you may play one Digimon card with a play cost of 7 or less, and Legend Arms from your trait in your hand without paying its memory cost, and place its owners in the battle area. That's really nice. For a 4 cost, you're basically saving 3 memory to play at a level 7. Level 5, 7 cost Digimon. So that's really nice. Really cost effective as well. And then delay. So when you want to crack it on any turn following the turn you play this option card, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, place those cards in the top or bottom of your deck in any order. The delay mechanic, well, no, actually, funny enough, that actually is really good to play with Zubamon and Ludamon, because what you're doing is you're scrying the top of your deck and adjusting it, scrying if you're a Magic player, by the way, readjusting it so that you can trigger Zubamon and Ludamon as well, so that way you're hitting a Zubamon and a Ludamon's effect. Really cool. Security, you may play one Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less and Legend Arms in straight from your hand without paying its memory cost, and then you place this in your battle area. So doesn't scry the top of your deck for its security effect, but does let you at least play a level 7 out of your hand for free. Woo, Ragnalordmon really makes me want to just jump into Ragnalordmon and playing him. I don't know he's going to make a big splash in the meta, but as a tier 2 deck, I think he can really take some games. I think he has enough power, enough points of contact. He has the abilities of both Brian Ludamon and Durandamon to basically be this big beat stick that can't be removed off the field. He can become a blocker. He gains reboot. He's going to be an annoyance, especially when he DNA Digivolves, especially for decks that don't have recoverability. So yeah, he definitely has his place in the world. So that is it. BT10 looks to be a pretty amazing format. X-Heart, Blue Flare, Jesmon, maybe Ragnalordmon, Dark Knightmon, Barger's Army. So many new decks to play with in this format, not mentioning older decks can still come back in. X-Antibody is still very much viable format. Deck Alphamon, Metal Gururumon are still very strong, very potent decks to play in the format. Security Control is still very, very potent. It's got new cards it can play with Venusmon and some of the new options. I think Renamon is now very viable in the format, especially with Maid Mode, and utilizing Holy Flame and any of its plugins. Heck, even Yellow Hybrid probably can come back and play. But we'll just have to see kind of how the format wraps up here. So anyways, once again, do make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And do comment down below what you're excited to play for in the BT10 meta. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's TCG and Miniatures.